Well, it's another early disappointing exit in the Carabao Cup for another season for City. 1-0 defeat at home to Norwich was enough to make sure Norwich went through to round 3 and Bristol City were knocked out just round 2. Well, I did say in my match preview that I wasn't overly bothered about the Carabao Cup, and that's still the same to an extent. In terms of the starting 11 for City, it was fairly strong. It was kind of similar to who started against Oxford in the previous round. Is Max in goal, Hayden Roberts at left back into the camp, bring Naismith and Dickey, so no Zach Viner, George Tanner at right back. Midfield was Joe Williams, Andy King, Mark Sykes. Up top, it was Anders Mehmeti off the left, Naki Wells up top, Harry Cornick off the right. Norwich put out a fairly strong-ish team. There's kind of few reserve players in there, few players who would be starting most games. Gabriel Sara, Shane Duffy, Omobama Dele, probably a few of them. So there were players in there who could definitely cause problems for Bristol City and did cause problems for Bristol City. The first half was a bit poor, didn't really have much quality in it. Bristol City had 49% possession, Norwich though had 9 shots, and it was generally a feeling of Norwich would probably score in the game if this kind of territory continued. They had a lot of chances, which kind of half chances, never really equated to a massive chance. But Adam Ida, I think, had an header which was incredibly saved from Max O'Leary at point blank range, and that was the only real massive chance in the game. And again, it's similar problems for Bristol City, just not being able to A, create those chances, and B, put them away when they do come. 4 minutes into the second half, Premissoir Placetta gets the ball on the right-hand side of the box, spins. I think it's George Tanner, which is really poor I think it's Tanner who it is. Spins in, puts it in the far corner. Max is kind of blindsided because of that defender who he spun. Doesn't get tight enough at all to Placetta. It's a good finish, but the defender must get tighter, and Bush City it's just really, really poor from our perspective. I thought Tanner and it was Dickey on the right-hand side of defence, wasn't it? I thought they were really, really poor, to be honest. I thought they were kind of not really aware of their positioning most of the time, and whenever they got the ball, there was never any intent or any urgency to get the ball into midfield and then progress it out wide or through the centre through Naki Wells. It was always very safe. It was always back to Max or to Cal Naismith or to Hayden Roberts on the other side or to Andy King who'd drop in. It was just very, very slow, and it was just really, really poor and really infuriating to watch. It was just a really tough watch, to be honest, and we just didn't do enough. We just didn't threaten or just did not cause Norwich City problems. We did not make George Long in the Norwich goal work enough. I remember after the goal, we'd have the ball in the halfway line, and we'd be urging him to get forward, and he'd just go back. It's all very safe, no urgency, and it just shows we have no creativity in the team from midfield, because that's where the majority of our play goes through. We have the centre of midfield. We had Andy King there yesterday. He isn't going to create much. So we need someone, whether we address in the transfer market, I'll come on to that. It's just not going to work because we don't have that outlet of creativity. So yeah, Norwich brought on Adam Forshaw, Ashley Barnes, 2 players who are going to kind of slow the game down. Again, that's no disrespect to Norwich. Honestly, they were brilliant in how they handled the game, because they took the lead 4 minutes into the second half and they handled it brilliantly. Towards the end, didn't allow us many chances at all. One George Long save he had to make. But one major positive from yesterday was Ephraim Yeboah, who came on in the 67th minute and was brilliant. So whether he gets a start away at Swansea or not, I think that'll be a definite talking point. I think he should definitely be in with a shout of getting a start. Whether he does get one or not, I don't think he probably will. But in the cameos he's made in the league and the cup so far, he's looked a bit of a threat. He's looked like he's got the physique about him. He drew a yellow card, I think, from Dimitriadis. I think he dragged him down the halfway line. So he has got that threat about him, Yeboah. If he does, get into those nice little position awareness, which, again, he's 17 years old. He's not like 20, 21. He's 17 years old. That will come with time. So I think that shows how much of a good job our academy is doing at the moment. Another player getting him through the ranks, getting him minutes and game time in the cup. Hopefully that translates into the league, and hopefully he's our next kind of crop of players from the academy who are definitely going to make an impact on the first team. In terms of final things of the game, look, just did not look a threat in the slightest, and just generally looked very poor and didn't have any urgency about us when in possession. This is kind of a similar pattern for the first 3 home games, isn't it? Teams kind of come to Ashton Gate, not really in fear of, us, because they don't really need to be fearful of us, but they kind of just sit back and allow us to take on the incentive of going out there, controlling possession and trying to break them down. And we just can't break teams down. That's Preston, Birmingham, and now Norwich. We've all struggled to break down when we've had the possession. Nigel made some very interesting comments after the game, and I normally don't talk about post-match interviews, but I thought this was very interesting. He said in the club interview, "We are blessed in several positions, but we're not so blessed in other positions," and that's, if you read between the lines, that's a bit like, oh, okay, you probably wanted a few more players in those positions. In the local radio afterwards, he said that there will be no more incomings at Bristol City. And that, if you read between the lines again, could show he's very unhappy. And if you factor in that this is his last year of his deal, is that kind of indication already, with 4 games in, is that already indication that he's not going to sign a new deal, and that if he's not going to get back to you, he won't probably agree to a new deal, even if he is offered one? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I found it very interesting, because it's these kind of situations that eventually build up over the course of the whole season. If we go on a 5-game losing streak in, I don't know, December time, and we're all kind of turning on Pearson, and he resigns, not surprised at all. He's stuck around for this long because I think he was kind of promised, if we sold Alex Scott, which we have now, he would be given that money. But because the internal wage restriction imposed on the playing squad has that kind of made a few doubts in his mind in terms of whether he can actually progress his team, or has he just taken it as far as he can? No. Let me know in the comment section below. So, this was the match review for Bristol City's 1-0 defeat at home against Norwich in the EFL Cup to ensure they went through and we were knocked out. Let me know your thoughts on the situation in the comment section below. It's very messy, isn't it? With a couple of days left to go in the transfer window, with seemingly glaring holes probably still in the playing squad. Where are your concerns, if you have any? Some positives you could look at: our academy still producing wonders, and we do still have players to come back, but whether they can come back to their full fitness or not is very, again, questionable. We have Ross McCrory, we have Rob Atkinson, Ayman Benarous, don't we? Tommy Conway. We have probably about 2 guaranteed starters in there who are definitely going to come back, maybe even 3 with Ross McCrory. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed this video, hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe to HF's YouTube channel for more Bristol City content in the future. As I've said in my previous videos, you can vote for me on Football Content Awards for Best Young Content Creator. So if you can do that, that would be much appreciated. You can go to their website. I won't bore you with a 1-minute video this time because it's a bit of a sad one. And we've just been knocked out of the EFL Cup. It's very serious. Not. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Keep safe, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.